The first thing to say about virtual currencies is they're not new. We've been using virtual currencies for ages. I mean, I'm assuming you've got a loyalty card from your supermarket in your pocket.
Sure, yeah.
You've got a loyalty card from your airlines and so forth. So we've been using virtual currencies for a while. Are virtual currencies fueling ransomware? I mean, ransomware has been around even before people started to talk about Bitcoin. But we recently wrote about this in Digital Laundry. What we would say is, virtual currencies are assisting and aiding individuals in their ability to be able to conduct crime. I think there was a great quote that we had from, I think it was an individual from the IRS, and he came up with a quote which said something along the lines of, if Al Capone were alive today, he would be, using virtual currencies.
Right.
Because, it's considerably more difficult to track and trace as well. But also they're instantaneous, if you're going to be making payments. And furthermore, Bitcoin is not the only virtual currency. There are multiple other virtual currencies out there, and we've seen, things such as Liberty Reserve being used for money laundering. I think it was $6 billion that was announced. And the predecessors to that were Perfect Money and eGold. So they certainly aid the ability to be able to mask or hide illicit activities. I mean, people say, well, virtual currencies are dreadful, we should outlaw them, we should ban them, we should regulate them, so on and so on and so forth. Well, I can take £100 out of my pocket, go out and buy drugs, or I can go and give it to a homeless shelter. It's the same concept. I think what I would say is that virtual currencies have an enormous market potential, and mobile payments will be clearly one of those areas. So what we're beginning to see is more focus by law enforcement into these virtual currencies. Liberty Reserve, for example, was a great example because of course it was used for money laundering, but that was easy to shut down because it was a centralized virtual currency platform. Things like Bitcoin aren't so easy to shut down because they're a decentralized money platform. So I think that's part of the reason why we're beginning to see more focus on things like Bitcoin from the regulators, not only for their role in illicit activities, but also because it is growing significantly, and there is opportunity there for public sector as well as us private individuals.